Happy Saturday once again. This is Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Earlier on this evening, Tennessee football gets big news with the commitment from Travis Smith Jr. of Georgia, wide receiver. Depending on the ranking, basically a consensus 4-star pickup. Tennessee baseball gets big news again tonight. As well, the reload continues. They add, according to perfectgame.com, the number 3 ranked JUCO player in all the country, Brandon Arvidson. Originally played for Texas A&M, transferred to I think it's Jacinto Junior College, played there this past season. He signed with Texas. Texas had the coaching change. He was able to get out letter of intent, and then goes on to visited Tennessee last weekend, and he's in the fold now. So some of his numbers for this year and how he fits in is what I'm going to talk about. So he had 17 appearances. He started 9 games and went 4-3. He also had 1 save as well. He logged 61 innings, had a 3.84 ERA, whip of 1.43, 108 strikeouts in 61 innings. And make no mistake about it, JUCO pitching with football, basketball, now JUCO is almost, I feel like, getting kind of irrelevant in terms of college football, college basketball. I wouldn't say it's irrelevant, but there was at one point in time, teams, you hit JUCO, you got some pretty good guys. These guys would transfer and they'd go JUCO before they could, obviously that was before the portal, unlimited transfers and stuff. But Tennessee now has 6 junior college pitchers coming in. Now, it'll be curious to see, do they all make it or are they affected by the draft? I think it's conceivable to think you may possibly lose some to the draft. But the JUCO stuff's kind of hard to find as well. I've looked pretty hard on this. I'm not sure that all of them are draft eligible either. If it's case of Marcus Phillips last year, who came from JUCO, not draft eligible, though. Arvidson is, and I think it is something to watch with him for sure. But looking at his stats and how he fits in, he did start games, but the longest outing that he had on the entire season was 5 1/3 innings. And so he's looking back May 10th, he was, and I'm going backwards on it. 5 innings, 5 1/3, 4 innings, 5, 4, 4, 2, 2 1/3, 4, and so on. So not a guy, it looks like he began the season maybe out of the bullpen. I mean, first game, 3 1/3 innings. February 2nd, then he pitched a third of an inning. And, it looks part of the reason that 130 got lit up in that game for 5 earned runs in that 1/3 of an inning. But still, man, this is a solid pickup. This is another, like I say, part of the reload. And that I really think this pitching staff might have a chance to be better next year. The offense, I've seen some people getting a little crazy with this. I think the offense will be good next year. This was one of the best offenses of all time this past season. Anybody that's saying, well, this offense next year is going to be just as good, if not better, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. The pitching staff, on the other hand, I think that pitching staff has a chance to be really good next year. You add these JUCO guys who are all going to bring something different to the table, depending on how many of these freshmen you add, who will be freshmen, to the mix. You've got Snead back. You got Marcus Phillips back. You got Dylan Lloyd back. Andrew Banky. Some pretty good guys there. Some of these dudes here who are playing summer ball, you're that redshirted or maybe just through middle of the week. There's going to be some talent. There's going to be some depth on this pitching staff. You had like I said again, Marcus Phillips. I expect Nate Snead to be in the rotation next year. You added Liam Doyle from Ole Miss. I expect him to be in the rotation. I think it's going to be a dang good pitching staff next year. I really do. I think the offense is going to be good as well, but a lot of it's going to depend on what we see with the draft starting tomorrow. How is this team affected by it? And if you got questions, I'm going to link some videos at the end that I've done on the draft. Some of you just trust me as far as what I'm telling you on those videos and stuff. Now, I don't know where guys are going to be drafted. There's some that I think have a chance to come back, but here's the bottom line. If you have eligibility left and you get drafted, you have leverage with your bonus. Teams have slots. They have so much money they can spend. They can't just draft every top prospect they want to draft in this. And because there's the slots, and sometimes they'll draft a guy under slot value. I've seen the Braves do it numerous times. That way they can sign someone later on. Jared Dickey was an example last year, 11th round by Kansas City, but he was able to get, I think, the equivalent to like a 4th round bonus because he had leverage on it. Any of these guys who get drafted now who have eligibility have leverage, so they can negotiate a higher bonus because, worst case, they can just come back next year. Most guys in college baseball do not come back. And, some of you have questioned me on that. Go look at who's been drafted for Tennessee and tell me how many of them have come back. All right. I'm still surprised Hunter Ensley announced he's coming back because I still maintain I thought he would be drafted high enough to he could leverage, or I say high enough. There's only 20 rounds. So if you get drafted, you have that leverage with eligibility. So it did kind of surprise me. He announced before the draft that he's coming back, but that was a big piece of news for Tennessee. There'll be a lot of interesting things in the fall and next year. I am really curious to see that infield battle for Tennessee because I can tell you this, and some of you have heard me talk about it some. I watched Antigua play Thursday night in Johnson City. He's amazing in the field. He is amazing. He's hitting pretty good in the summer ball as well. Wooden Bat League, facing some pretty good pitching up there. It's not the Happy League is not as good as the Cape Cod, but it keeps getting better, and there's some good competition up there. But there's not going to be a better defensive shortstop on campus than Ariel Antigua. I can tell you that. His bat is going to determine what he does. If it's a serviceable bat, as we saw with Cal Stark catching the last couple of years, Antigua will be in that lineup. And, it remains to be seen where he plays. Dude can play shortstop. And some of you said on the live the other night, he's too short, doesn't have the arm. Yes, he does. He's not too short. He has the arm. He has the best range. He is the best defensive shortstop on the team. That's nothing against anybody else. That's how good he is. That's like saying, Zakai Ziegler was the SEC Defensive Player of the Year this past year. But he's not even the best defensive player on his team. The best defensive player in the entire country is Jemai Mashak. That's no slight against Zakai Ziegler. That's how good Jemai Mashak is. That's similar to Ariel Antigua. That's no slight against any other shortstop on that roster. Ariel Antigua in the field is that good. Arvidson, though, big commit. How does he fit? I'm looking more. I'm thinking Snead, Doyle, and that third spot's going to be the interesting one. Could one of these JUCO guys take it? Is it Dylan Lloyd? Remains to be seen. And I don't know for sure to be Snead. My guess is based on how many innings he threw this year, and Tony Vitello kind of alluded to it. I think Snead wanted to throw more. I think Snead will get every shot there is to be in that rotation next year. And the only other arm Tennessee was waiting on was Cade Fisher, who had transferred from Florida. He actually announced today he is going to Auburn. So that one's off the table. They were in on Anthony Ianson from San Diego. He committed to LSU. So, Tennessee may be done, but the draft could determine, do they need to hit the portal for more players or not? There's still going to be plenty of guys in the portal after this draft. It's just a matter, does Tennessee need to hit it for them or not? But I'll link my draft stuff, my high school stuff that I've got for you on here at the end. If you check that out already, check it out. But I'll keep you updated. I'll probably have some videos tomorrow night based on who gets drafted. Monday night, 7:30, we'll go live again. And we'll talk some baseball. We'll talk some things Monday night. Have a great rest of your evening. My name is Frank Rock. This is the House Foreign Sports channel. If you like the content, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Biggest way to help the channel for me, one is super thanks. Same as super chats. Those do go back into the channel. They are appreciated, or like a tip, basically. And sharing out the content, getting it out to fellow Vol fans who maybe have not run across the channel as of this point. But have a great rest of the evening. I'll see you when I see you. And last but most certainly not least, go Vols.
Everyone rejects me.